6 months ago, I went to a psychic, and I had her predict my future. We're gonna go to a medium who's gonna tell me about my future. She already gave us permission to record, which is good. I wouldn't have done this if she didn't give us permission, so she's really cool. Shout out to Soul and Beauty. I don't believe in mediums whatsoever.
But at the same time, was kind of a scary situation, like something outside the norm.
Okay, John, what do you think about that?
No, that seems tragic.
Yeah. I don't believe in psychics or, you know, that they can read the future.
I know right now you have to work on something that's so then, like, by October.
I don't believe that they could tell me things about my deceased relatives or anything like that.
Well, mediums talk to ghosts.
I'm gonna go into this with an open mind because I'm really curious. You know, I'm not gonna go in there and being like, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. But I'm also not gonna, you know, I'm just gonna enjoy the experience. It's costing me $75, so I might as well try to enjoy it. By the way, right now, it's, what month is it? May or something? Yeah. This video isn't gonna come out till like Halloween. Nervous. Hi.
Door, it gets stuck.
I'm Ryan, this is John.
Hi, nice to meet you, Annette.
But before we get to if she was accurate, let's get to what she said. Oh, and huge shout out to Matt for editing this video, and huge shout out to John for being my cameraman.
Yeah, I'm gonna warn you in advance. People cry. Like people randomly start crying, and I'm gonna have one of those I can't relate faces to you because I'm just saying stuff to you, but to you it makes sense. So if you cry in advance, I am so sorry.
That's okay. I mean, if I end up crying, that'd be great for the video.
Do you have a girlfriend? Or are you seeing somebody, like talking to somebody?
No,
Yeah.
not currently. I don't have anyone that I'm like looking into right now. I don't really have anyone that I have my eye on right now. But I did recently get out of a relationship.
Okay. All right, so let's get started because that came out as you were saying things. And the reason why you're noticing, I'm sitting here shuffling, nothing's coming out, is I'm totally not connected to you.
Okay.
And it's because I got distracted and started talking to you about other stuff. First and middle name, that's all I need.
Ryan Michael.
You're fun. Like,
Thank you.
No, like your personality is fun. You're quirky. People think you're being sarcastic. You're not being sarcastic. You're just saying. And can I curse on your thing? Because I do.
I can bleep it out.
Okay, my bad.
Don't worry about
okay.
I do it pretty much as a joke all the time.
Yeah.
If my mom had to, I'll say this for the camera. If my mom had to describe me in one word, it would be sarcastic. You can ask her.
I like, you're responsible. Don't get me wrong. Like, your stuff is paid for. But you do not save unless it is something that is like a hope and a dream. Right now you're holding out for something. So the question is, like, what are you holding out for in regards to what you're attempting to save for? Because I know there's something.
You're saying that I do or that I don't spend like a lot of money?
You do spend.
Okay.
But right now you are trying, like, in your mind, you're
I do, but I'm trying to stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. This represents, like, I'm gonna ask, like, if it would be your mother, because usually a Queen of Swords is somebody that you look up to, somebody that you respect, somebody that has guided you, usually like a mother figure of some sort. She has answers that you haven't asked the questions to yet. This is my favorite card in the whole wide world. Everybody has like a different meaning for it, and they're like, whatever. But the Knight of Cups, I view as this amazing growth card. The guy basically starts off, steals this goblet, escapes, runs away, and he's all proud of himself. Like, if I go back to the city, I'm gonna be condemned. If I stay, like, I'm gonna starve to death. I've got water. That's it. I've got a lake. Like, I have a cup. Like, what? I'm gonna drink water and then die. And then he's like, wait a second. Wait, I can drink water and not die. You need to be prepared. Like, you think you need to be prepared for all this stuff.
Hey, Editor Matt here. I'm here to just cut down on the rambling that was happening. Basically what she's saying is that Ryan's holding himself back in limited beliefs, and that he's holding on to something from his past that he hasn't forgiven himself for, and that he should solve that. It is 2 a.m. I am so tired.
That makes sense, but I can't think of anything in my past that I haven't either forgiven myself for, or that I hold against myself, I guess. Why is it so close to my face?
And you're telling me you can't think of anything from the past, but even this one tells me you're running away from something.
Okay, I thought of something.
You don't have to share if you want to,
Okay.
it just does it relate to you?
It does. When you bring in this one, you said this one is like running away from something?
You're running away from something that was steady, something that you thought was steady. Had potential, but at the same time was kind of a scary situation, like something outside the norm.
John. Okay, John. What do you think about that?
No, that seems tragic.
Yeah.
So it seems tragic?
Oh, that seems to track. No, it
It seems to track.
Oh, I thought you said tragic. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Okay, I shouldn't disclose too much because I don't want to give you too much information to work off of. All I will say is that if you remember from our messages, I said that I was going to be here with 2 people. As you can see, there's only one other person here.
Okay.
Something happened with that other person that John actually brought a hammer in the car just in case something were to happen. Funny and kind of scary. I don't mean to freak you out, nothing, but
No, it's okay. I know Kung Fu.
good. Okay, you could.
I really don't, but
Oh.
that would be so great if I did. I know how to play baseball.
That works too.
I could swing a bat like the best of them.
That would work. But I won't get more into detail with that because it's a completely personal, private matter. But that's really interesting.
You balance everything that you are doing in your life. What you're doing is, instead of just getting down and going head first, like doing it with speed and accuracy at the same time, you're like, I will take my time, I will balance this, you will see me as I do this. I just feel like you've been pulling yourself away. That outside, you've got this, I can do it, I'm an awesome attitude, but in the inside, you're like having like this kind of like mini meltdown moment where you're just like, let me pull myself back. Like, this is too much. Like, so then we bring it into the King of Pentacles. This is where you come in again. I was saying you have a lot of pentacles. This one has to do with who do you look up to. That they're not in your life necessarily at this moment, but it would be like a financial advisor usually, like something like that. And if it's not a financial advisor, then it's usually a father figure. It could be, I don't care if it's a celebrity, it's somebody you relate to. Like, you've seen them as an example and you're just like, no, I could do this too. Like, I could definitely do this.
I mean, it might be like a YouTuber or someone.
If that's your thing.
So I have a question. I don't know. Again, I don't know how like mediums work.
Well, mediums talk to ghosts.
Okay, so
I mean, I do if they come through, like, but oh, look at that.
so what would you describe yourself as like right now in this moment?
Psychic.
A psychic right now. So I'm planning on having this video come out around Halloween. Would you be able to tell me anything or have any prediction for something that would happen between now and then?
Sometimes predictions come through, sometimes they don't.
Okay.
I know right now you have to work on something that, so then, like, by October, I don't have a timeline yet. I haven't gotten anything with a timeline. You're working on like, all right, this one like literally lets me know like there are people involved. There is a creative collaboration happening. Like, some people do more work than others, but some people are like, let me remind you how much work I do. Like, does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, pay attention to who you're being thankful to and who you're trusting with your thanks. Whoever that person is that's going to be part of this, or is part of this, or was part of this, I don't know. I want to say is. Like, they're only doing what they have to do. That's it. And that's going to hold you back in the long run.
How did he end up going back in?
You really need to pay attention to that Page of Cups. I somehow shuffled it back in, and it came back out.
All right.
Ace of Pentacles That's like wicked success. That's like financial gains. What are you holding yourself back from? You're getting me angry with this. In the nicest way of being angry.
Got chunks flying out.
And not one slip. Did you see that? That's the crazy part. Like sometimes I'll just sit here and shuffle through a deck. 3 cards land face down. They're not part of the story. But we've got the King of Cups who jumped out and committed suicide there to talk to you. King of Cups. Love it. The King of Cups is very much the one that like gives and doesn't require take back. So you've been giving and giving. You feel like you've been doing like over giving almost. And you don't hold back, and you don't expect anything in return, but because you don't expect anything in return, you're not ready to fight when you have to. More Pentacles. You're nursing a situation. What are you nursing? Like, what is this like your plan? Like, is this what your goal is career-wise? Like, do you plan on being like something like news and like on the spot, like action, like research or something like that? Like, because this has to do with a lot of balance and it has to do with quick response time. So what is it that you're trying to do that requires balance and quick response?
Not really my plan, it's sort of like a hope, I guess. It's tricky to bank my entire plan on hoping that, you know, a career in entertainment works out. And that's a difficult industry. Has anyone ever gone through like a whole deck of tarot cards? No? No one's that interesting.
No. I think that's the end of your deck. Oh no, all right, you have challenges ahead of you. Temptations, like, oh, we got the Ace of Cups too. That, I suppose she came up before, but that's okay. How long ago did you get out of this breakup? Within like 3 to 4 months?
Yeah.
You're still soaking on it. You're questioning, you're over questioning, you're worried about where did I go wrong in this? Like, was it temptation? Was I not good enough? Did I not supply enough? Why are you doing that to yourself? Because you already know you didn't do it. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, that's all it needs to do is make sense to you. I think that's it.
Okay. Is there anything else interesting like to end on, or?
No. Just a synopsis, a recap.
Okay, yeah.
Just overall, like, you have success in your path. Like, you're just holding yourself back. You're focusing on the wrong things. And in this, it seems like you're focusing on your past there, trying to figure out what you did wrong when it wasn't you. You've been focusing on that for, like, everything now that you do. We literally split the deck. Most people, I think it's like a 10-card read, 12-card read, stuff like that.
Really? So this was like 30-some?
If you look in the book, there's like...
Okay, interesting. So does it also depend on like the order that they come out, or is it?
In that, yes.
That's cool. That's cool how they all interact with each other.
Yeah, well, it creates a story. Like, that's your life. It's letting you know exactly what is going on and what's going to happen, and you know what can happen if you continue on the path that you're going on right now. That's the whole point of this. It's guidance. No matter what, these cards will always try and find a way to come out. Like we were talking about the Page of Cups before. Like, I accidentally mixed it into the deck. It's still found a way to come back out. It'll always find a way to come back out for you.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you very much.
You're
I appreciate
welcome. It's been awesome.
So, I think that was pretty cool. Ignore how I'm parked the wrong way.
It's bad.
Okay. I've got a list of all the different predictions that the medium told me, and it's now the middle of October, and let's see if any of them came true. The medium said I'm holding out for a future plan and trying to expand a business thing. I mean, I guess making YouTube videos, I've started getting monetized with that. One thing I remember she said is that I'm a big spender, which is not true by any means. That being said, right when I got there, I said, hey, do you want me to pay you up front or do you want me to wait until after? And she said, well, you can do whichever one, it doesn't matter. I said, I'll just pay you up front to get it over with. And I think that's where that came from, because I don't know where else it would have come from of like, you're a big spender, but you're trying to save, unless that's just a very generic thing that everyone falls into. But if I could pin it back to one moment, it's that. There's a maternal mentor figure that I have to ask the right question to, and they have the answer to my question. I cannot possibly think of what this could be referring to. It's sort of a loose premise of the assumption, because there's no way for me to check that. If I do ask somebody and they happen to have the right answer to whatever question it is, then that's amazing. And if I don't, then I just haven't found the person yet. So I'm not going to take too much time on that point. Pay attention to what I'm thankful for and who I'm trusting, because there's somebody who's helping me who's only doing it because that's what they have to do in order to benefit themselves or something. I'm really trying to like find some sort of link between these points that the lady said and my actual life of what's happening. All the people who act like they like me are doing a great job, because I can't tell if they actually hate me based on what this psychic lady said, and all the people who don't like me make it very clear, so there's no miscommunication with that. You have challenges ahead of yourself, and in parentheses it says getting over a breakup. I mean, I guess I have challenges ahead of myself, but like, who doesn't? The thing that I was going through isn't really relevant to her point of I have challenges ahead of myself. And the reason I'm putting so much emphasis on her point of getting over a breakup is because that's a hyper-specific thing that I was kind of going through, but I think is only something that she said because I may have mentioned it at some point. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, because my mind really was not going to be changed based on one interaction. You know, maybe if something really crazy or spectacular happened. I feel like a lot of people who go to mediums and fortune tellers and psychics or whatever are either going through something difficult in their lives or just want reassurance about the future. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I don't think that somebody providing a service like this lady did is a bad thing by any means. You know, I also think it was just a fun experience. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in any of this stuff. I wasn't expecting to believe in any of this stuff. But at the same time, I'm glad I did it. You know, it was a fun experience. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I do want to give one huge shout out to the psychic medium for even allowing me to do this in the first place. I offered to blur her face, and she even told me that she didn't care if I blurred her face or not. You know, she was just happy that I was doing this and to have the opportunity to open my eyes to her world a little bit, which is really cool, which is honestly really cool. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much to her. Thank you to Matt for editing this video. You can find information about Matt in the description if he wants to post it there. And thank you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next week with another sick, awesome, epic Pog YouTube video. And yeah, that's also peace out, epic gamers.